Hello again, folks, and welcome to Here's the Deal again, a live broadcast from the 109 Steakhouse up here in Lignite, North Dakota, where we're having a meet and greet for the District 2 candidates. And with me right now, I have Charlie Ringwald. He is a candidate for the state legislature for the House. So, how are you, Charlie?
I'm doing okay. Kind of running low on energy right now. It's been something new for me that I've tackled here, and it's trying.
You bet. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and we'll start with that.
Well, I'm lifelong resident of Columbus, North Dakota, on a farm. I'm a third generation rancher farmer. As I jokingly say, still broke, but there's next year. It's just, it's almost a sickness, but and I've had numerous jobs off the farm. That's the only way I farmed is with keeping income coming in. I've got about 18 years of oil field experience, from everything from welding, rigs, wells, driving truck, and about 7 years or so of driving over the road truck driving too, and miscellaneous other stuff. It's just trying to keep the thing and keep the money rolling.
Yep. So you're just an average Joe, average North Dakota growing. Why get into the political arena? What made you decide to run for the state legislature?
Well, one thing I do feel that we're totally lacking on is people that go down, like as a representative, we're supposed to represent the people, and there's only one way, and I don't see any of these people doing that. They don't come out talking to people before they vote. They come back and let us know what they did, but they never get our input. Mm-hmm. And that is my one of the big reasons why I'm in this. I just getting in this to give the people a vote, which is what they put us in there for. That would be about it.
Yeah, gotcha. We had Mark Inget on just a few minutes ago, and so one of the questions I asked him was why he chose to get involved, and obviously that came up with, it seems like in District 2, just speaking for myself, when I got involved 2 years ago is when I really started getting involved with our district, and it seemed like the representation that we had then, and that's running against you guys, didn't want to listen to anybody in the district. It was kind of their way or the highway, good old boy club. So how's that going to change with you?
Well, I'm going to be available for people to talk to. Like, I've given out a boatload of cards out in my campaigning, and on the back of it is my representing the people recipe. You supply a location, a coffee pot, and a group of people, and we will be there and talk about concerns and what your issues are. Because that's, you got to get out with the people. And it's just like I say, that is my goal, is to, get little groups big groups of people, whatever, that have issues that want them brought to the table.
Yeah. No, I get you. So what is something that you're passionate about that you get involved in as far as when you get to the legislature?
That is one of my, I don't know if this is a realistic one or not, but we all know that the East versus the West, mm-hmm. the power struggle, well, it's real. And I did a little bit of mathematics on that.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you draw a line from Bismarck up to Botno, that's about half the state.
Okay.
And, at that point, there's 21 districts to the west, 25 to the east.
Okay.
It's not balanced at all. Like one of my mottos has been, the east has the checkbook, the west has the deposit. We're putting money in and the east is taking it up. And I just, I've got an inkling of it. I got it. I'll have to feel it out when I get down there to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, everybody says, well, you can't do anything about that. Well, if you say you can't do anything about it, you can't. But if you're willing to take some chances and, like I heard once that can't died in the cornfield, and it's just, don't tell me you can't do something. I mean, it's just, is there a portion of this eastern part or districts that aren't getting their needs met as the west district?
Yeah.
Our roads are getting tore up from the oil structure. I mean, we don't get sufficient funds to keep them maintained. It's oil field. That's putting this big money in our state. The east they're sitting there. They're more than willing to take it, and
Yeah.
they don't want to give it out to us. Well, that would be that would be my main goal that I thought of. And
Okay.
is try to. I mean, if there's a way of balancing that power, I don't know. I think there is, but
One question I asked Mark too was obviously the carbon capture is a big issue here in the state. Um, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on carbon capture uh, as it even pertains to property rights here in North Dakota? What, what are your
the
thoughts on that?
the carbon capture, to me, like I'm not a rocket scientist. I don't know the equation. Carbon is an essential part of our ecosystem. Carbon is food for plants, any growing plant. And without carbon, it's not a good thing. Now I don't know where the level is. They blame carbon on greenhouse gases. Well, carbon is heavier than air. It will not rot. I mean,
Right.
I've read studies, well, you can get inversions that can lift it and whatnot, but in basic theory, most of this carbon is hanging on the ground level of our planet, feeding the green grass, weeds, trees, and it's to return it into oxygen. So like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't know the equations of this. I mean, like where the saturation level is, where how much carbon we need, I don't know. But it's.
Let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on eminent domain using it for taking property for, let's say, a carbon pipeline? What's your thought process on that?
Well, something for the. I mean, there's times and places for eminent domain, but the carbon pipeline is not one of them. I mean, that's if it's eminent domain was designed, I believe, for the benefit of the people. If there's an area where a big amount of people need a project done, I mean, then one person kind of is not going to have. I mean, it's got to be sacrifices. But this carbon capture, I don't think that's got any. As far as I'm concerned, it's not a good thing. Some of the health issues with carbon capture. I mean, if there's ever a pipeline rupture or something, it's like I wouldn't want to live anywhere near. It's deadly stuff. When if a pipeline were to rupture, it's going to create a huge cloud, and that's going to hang. I mean, it's going to be right on the ground. So anything there is going to die. Can't use emergency vehicles. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that's bad. And then, when they pump it down in the ground, well, what are they going to do? Are they going to turn around and resell it? I mean, if that's what they're going to do, let's be out with it, and they're going to use it for oil recovery. So is it just, it's a lot of questions in my mind on the carbon.
Yeah, that's for sure. Again, that's been a pretty big issue here in this state and about 4 other states. But so we're getting ready here to start the event. Before we go, is there anything? What would you like people of District 2 to know about you, and why should they vote for you?
Well, like I say, my campaign is representing the people. You know, I don't have any hidden agendas, you know, other than, and it's not hidden, it's just representing the people. I will be out talking to people of what they want accomplished in business. And until I get there and find out how it works, I mean, I've heard a lot of different stories, you know, about how bureaucracy works. And I guess if I get in there, I'll find out if it's true. You know, it's just, and I shake my head at a lot of what I hear, but you know, I'm just a want to give it a try. And one of my old one-liners when I ran was, you know, I know the difference between right and wrong. You know, some people can justify wrong into right, but you know that ain't right. You know, I mean, it's a basic. Is this right or is this wrong? You know, it's just.
You bet.
You know, that's what I would like people to know, that I do know that, and I am an honest person. And I will work for you as the constituents of this district.
Well, I really appreciate your time, Charlie. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for putting yourself out there and running campaign and trying to do the best thing for the people. I do appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Shiloh, and I appreciate the chance to be on here and get the word out.
You bet. That's Charlie Ringwald from Columbus, North Dakota, and he's running for the legislature, the House seat here in District 2. With that, I will see you guys later here. We're going to do a live from the meet and greet up here at 109 Steakhouse up here in Lignite, North Dakota. So we'll see you then. Have a good evening.